Thank you. I'd like to call the meeting to order of the Lake Forest August 7th, 2012 to order. And I'd like to say that all council members are present with the exception of Mark Tettemer has an excused absence. Is there anything to report a city attorney from closed session?
There's no reportable action, Mayor.
Thank you. I'd like to ask Peter Hersol to please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please rise, and I'll bet most of you are here for one of our presentations, which is about the July 4th celebration, so it's nice to have everybody here to do the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'd like to apologize for being a little bit late today. We had some extensive closed session things. First of all, for any of you that like to follow along with us on the paper, we're going to have 3 agendas. You should have you can pick up agenda packets right there to my left, your right. And you should have purple, salmon, and green, so you can keep up. But before we do that, I know that you've waited patiently, and I'm going to fast forward straight to our presentation on the green agenda. I'm not going to go through the purple or the pink or whatever they want to call it. I'm going to go straight to the green so we can do the presentation. City Clerk, could you please guide us through this?
Yes, agenda item number 4, the report by the Investment Oversight Reviewer, quarter ended June 30, 2012, submitted by Director of Finance, City Treasurer.
Thank you, Mayor. This is quite a showing for my investment audit report. But yay, thank you. My name's Kathy Lime, a partner with Macias, Genie, and O'Connell, and I've been engaged by city management and the city to perform some procedures to assist the city in determining that the city's investment activities are in compliance not only with the city's own internal investment policy, but also the California Government Code. And this is for the quarter ended June 30th, 2012. So without further ado, the results noted that there were no findings. Some of the example procedures included that the city complied with not only with their own internal code, but their investments listed in the June 2012 monthly treasurer's report also complied with the California Government Code. We've also compared the investments listed in the June 2012 monthly treasurer's report with those listed by the city's custodian, which is Union Bank. Further, on a sample basis, we selected a few investments, our sample investments, and compared those credit ratings to Moody's Corporation current ratings, and we noted no rating actions taken. And finally, we reviewed the city's investment portfolio percentage return as of June 30th, 2012, and compared that to the U.S. Treasury's percentage of return for securities maturing at approximately the same time, and we noted that the city's return was higher than that of the U.S. Treasury's return. And with that, that concludes my report, and I'd be happy to address any questions.
We have a
just want to point out one thing. In our policy, we have a very strong statement about the city not being involved in any derivatives, and they sort of went silent for a while, but I've heard some reports lately that are talking derivatives again, so I just wanted to bring that up to everybody's conscious level that our city does not and will not participate in any derivatives. So thank you very much for your comment.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Now you can tell all your partners how everybody comes to hear your riveting report.
Madam Clerk.
Agenda item 5, recognition of the 2012 4th of July Parade volunteers, sponsors, and award winners, submitted by Director of Community Services.
That just may be why we have a full house. Okay. Ron? I just seen him a minute ago.
I think this is the first time I've seen him in a suit.
He says that every year.
Okay, that's right. This time each year. That's what it's.
Right.
And he cleans up quite nicely.
Thank you. Well, first off, I want to thank the City Council and all the city staff for your support this year. And we came here last year and we announced that our parade was going to be Lake Forest, Hometown, USA. And with that idea in mind, our volunteer committee worked many, many hours throwing out ideas, new policies, new procedures, arranging meetings, but most of all what they did was they worked hard. Long hours, long conversations, but for one reason, to have the best parade ever, and that's what we really did. And it was a really exciting year. We had a few losses, so we had to work harder than ever to make up for those losses. And today it's my privilege to announce our volunteers. So if Mayor would like to come up to present the accommodations. Some interesting music in the background. Maybe stand right over here. All right. First up, Connor Bateman. Connor, go and take a seat. Stand right over there. Noma Bates. They told me she was here. All right. How about Michelle Clark? Marty Deutschman? Myron Drinkwater. Marion Duffy. Patty Farina. Rich Farina. Jim Gardner. Sharon Hansen. Loretta Herron. Christina Hoffman. Cheryl Kramer. Rob Kramer.
Thank you.
Mr. Rick Lancaster. Margie Matzel. Gian Mastropetro. John Myers. Rita Middleton. Tibby Montgomery. Rosa Patterson. Elaine Pong. Matt Rail. Elizabeth Smith. Sheila Smith. All right. Richard Stein. Taking his time.
This is your hour.
There you go. Henriette. Lisa Tooley. Elizabeth Valentine. Michael Varma. Okay, if we everybody gather around for a group shot. This will be next. Group shot first. All right, guys, gather around.
You got to close up some more.
Look at Eric.
A little tighter? Tighten it up. Tighten it up. Somebody's spreading.
A little tight. Order. Suck your gut in.
I'll put an arrow there.
That sounds like a supermodel.
Yeah.
Y'all is going to start striking a pose.
Done? You have everybody?
Let's hear it one more time for 2012 4th of July Parade Committee.
Go Lake Forest.
Go Lake Forest. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Okay. Next, we have some groups to help us out with the parade. We have our parade committee, of course. We also have other groups to help us out. And one of these groups is the Lake Forest Kiwanis. So our Lake Forest Kiwanis, come on up. All our Kiwanis, come on up. There you go. You just joined. Look at that. All right. Take a picture?
Y'all have anybody take pictures?
Yeah, we got it right here.
Okay. Here we go.
All right. Next, we have our Lake Forest Police Services and Lake Forest Explorer Post 449. And here he comes, Lake Forest Explorers 449. All right. Thank you so much. Next is our Orange County Fire Authority Fire Station 19. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. They're good. I rode with them before.
Thank you, guys. The City of Lake Forest is very proud of the partnerships it builds with some of our businesses within the city, and they're very proud to sponsor the 4th of July Parade. One of our first sponsors is Waste Management. Yeah. Another sponsor and a brand new sponsor to the parade this year. We'd like to welcome and thank so much Doctors Ambulance. I just wanted you to know when we had the volunteers up here, there were over 752 years of experience in the parade up there a few minutes ago. It's a lot of years of experience. And we're going to recognize a young couple who has 10 years of experience. I'd like to bring up at this time Rich and Patty Farina. Yeah. Because the parade was very cold this year, they get jackets. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. A picture.
And a picture with the jacket? With the jacket?
It's up to you guys.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, they want a picture with the jacket?
Sure.
You just kind of hold it out there? Sure. I'll hold this for you if you want me, but I'll hold it behind you. Okay. Here, hold on. Here, I can help you. There we go. Good.
There you go. All right.
Thank you so much for your 10 years of service. Yeah. Well, obviously, thank you guys. Obviously, with all these parade volunteers and working groups, we had a lot of parade entries. So at this time, I'll turn it over to our judging committee. We're going to announce this year's award winners for 2012 Lake Forest Hometown USA Parade. Come on up.
Oh, okay.
Welcome, everyone, and congratulations to all of our winners this year. It was very difficult to choose because we had lots of great entries, but these are the ones that prevailed. So we will start with the best theme, and that went to Amigos de las Colinas.
Let us know when you got everybody.
You got one hiding. Here, right
Got one
here.
behind.
Wait.
Up here. Get your arm around her. Hold her. Here we go.
Okay.
Wait a minute, another picture, another picture, No, dude, that's okay.
It's okay. Get what you can.
Good, eventually.
Okay.
Did it go?
Okay. And another one. Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. You know, I forgot something. Sorry, they want to. We got to get them in here. We don't. They don't want to. That's okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah, in the Rangers room.
Thank you. Thank you.
Comic Quest.
Our next award for Best Commercial went to Comic Quest.
Thank you. Lake Forest Senior Scene?
Yes.
Okay, they all come up?
Our next award was the Best of Lake Forest, and that went to the Lake Forest Senior Scene Clubhouse.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Back.
Our next award for Best of Civic Award went to Waste Management.
Oh, it's just a machine. I should have picked it from there.
It's my night.
It is your night.
Okay, now, well, I need this.
Fix yourself.
Wait, I got a call.
Now you can't see it. You got to put it in front. Okay. Come on.
Thank you.
I think I'm done now.
We'll see.
Our next award is Best Community Outreach, and that went to the Lake Forest Girl Scouts. All right. The next award is the Mayor's Award, and that went to the California State Firefighters Association.
Did you really? Mm-hmm. I like that hat. I have some for you too. You little
Oh, wait a minute. Look. Oh, my goodness.
I don't really want to tell you what that's from. It's a rose crepe pin.
Yeah, but this is from the Indian, and I
That's
love
right.
that Indian.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
The most original award went to the Souza family and Floyd family. Our next award was the Most Creative Award, and that went to the Autumn Harvest Festival 2012 presents The Pirate Ship Revenge.
Thank you so much.
Our next award was the Best Musical Unit Award, and that went to Soundwaves Marching Band.
Come back a little bit.
She said squeeze in. Which camera do we look at?
All at the same time. Good job.
Our Best Spirit Award went to two different entries, the El Toro High School Cheer and Dance and Football, and the El Toro High School Royal Blue Regiment.
Cola need to be in the front, and then others all around us. Stupid. However you want to do it, true. You can do all kind of things. So let's get creative, girls. Come on, let's get creative. Okay. Who has that? Oh, they both. Okay, you guys get down a whole bunch. Just get on your knees, baby. Can you see behind this? Okay, we got to move that way. One, move. How about that? Now can you get everybody? Okay.
The Best Vehicle Award went to the Cyclone Coaster Vintage Bicycles. Thank you. Our Most Patriotic Award went to Uncle Sam and Snoopy's biplane. Our Best Animal entry went to Mini Madness. Our Best Dance Unit Award went to Grupo Folclórico Los Soñadores.
They can get that. You may have to. Why don't we make a little shorter circle? Like so, you come up front. Maybe one more. And come around this way. Still make it half circle. Circle here. Over just a little bit. What about you? You want to come right here? Let's see. Oh yeah. Come more this way. Yeah, we got it. This is what I'm going to have you to hold. Okay? Now we got it. We're ready. You can come up to here and do it there if you need to, sir. Okay, you can come over there. Swamp girls. One more. One last one.
And our last award, which is the Sandy Mink Award in honor of one of our judges that has passed away, went to Abiding Savior Lutheran Church. We have one more. Our Best Sports Theme Award could not be here, but we do want to recognize them, and that was the Lake Forest and Saddleback Little League players. So we can give them a round of applause.
I'd like to invite our judges to come up to the front, please, all our judges. We had a little glitch in the system. We want to recognize one more volunteer. Her name is Doris Neal. Come on up. I'll take a picture of Doris. You get a picture? So at this time, on behalf of our parade committee, our judges, everyone who works in the parade, we'd like to announce next year's theme, which is Star Spangled Salute, the 2013 parade on the 4th of July. We hope to see you guys there. Thank you so much for coming tonight. We're going to fix that. You want to show you? Okay. We'll get you a new one. Did you get your pen? Okay.
Got it. Would you give me?
You should be in the middle. Yeah.
I'm going to swipe back just a little bit. No, you can't see it on your phone. You can see the back of Bob's head.
Ready?
Catherine, can we get one more picture with you?
Can we do it again? Can we do it again?
Yeah.
Oh, your picture didn't come out?
It didn't come out. Come on, this is your group.
We'll be quick. We'll be quick.
Come on, you guys.
Saturday.
One more, wait. Okay. Let me do this one. One more.
I'm just messing with y'all.
They did the right thing.
We'll see you later, okay?
Okay. Hold on. Thank you. Thanks everybody for coming, and if you want to continue your conversation, could you please go out in the hall so we can conduct the meeting? Thank you. Yeah, okay. We're still on the green agenda at agenda item 6. Oh, the purple? Okay, we got 3. Which color you want me to have tonight?
Well, it would be appropriate at this time to call to recess the City Council and call the successor agency to order, which is the purple agenda.
Okay, we're going to reset. Sorry, y'all. I had a bunch of dental work done. I'm having some serious problems up here. We're going to recess the City Council, which is the green agenda, and we're going to go to the purple. Do we have to open that? Okay. We're going to call a special meeting of the successor agency to former Lake Forest Redevelopment Agency. We're going to call it to order, and we're going to state that all members are present with the exception of Mark Tettermer, which has an excused absence. Is there any reports from closed session? There was no closed session. Public session. Presentations, there's no presentations. Public comment, is there any public comment?
We've had no requests.
Is there anyone that did not put in a request to speak to the successor agent that would like to speak to us? Okay. Then I'll bring it back to council. Consent calendar, item 1 through 2.
Second that. 1 through 3.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Discussion item, there is none. Executive Director report.
I have nothing further to add at this point. Madam
Agency
Chairman.
member comments. Seeing none.
I just have one real quick.
Hold on.
There's the time frame when everything goes into just a single agency with a county, and when is that time frame again?
2016.
Okay. So at some point we're going to have a schedule, because we don't want to get everything done before then, certainly, if not before. Okay.
I entertain a motion to adjourn. Been moved and second. All in favor, say aye. Motion carries. Madam Clerk, you want me to go to the Lake Forest Housing Authority? Okay, I call the Lake Forest Housing Authority meeting to order. And would you please note that all are present with the exception of Mark Tettermer that has an excused absence. There's no report from closed session. There was no closed session. Public session. Presentations. There were none. Public comments. Do we have anyone that want to speak under public comment?
No, Your Honor.
Is there anyone that wants to speak under public comments that did not put in a form for the Lake Forest Housing Authority? Seeing none, bring it back to council. Anyone want to Consent calendar, item 1 through 3.
Second that.
Been moved and second. Any oppositions? Motion carries. Now we're back on the green, which is the normal city council. Now we're on the consent calendar warrant register. Item number 6.
Madam Mayor, we actually have public comment.
Oh, did I pass them up?
That's okay.
Do you have any slips from, requests from the public?
Yes.
For public comment? And if there is someone that wanted to make a comment, these are on items that are not on the agenda. We cannot comment according to law. Don't think we're ignoring you. We do hear you, and our staff is taking notes. When you come up to the mic, you will have 3 minutes. There's a little box. The green light will come on when you speak. Make sure you state your name and the city you live in. Do not give us your address. When the yellow light come on, you need to wrap up. You only have a minute left. When the red light come on, please cease. Thank you.
David Hertzberg.
Hi, I'm David Hertzberg. I'm a 22-year resident of Portola Hills, also city of Lake Forest, and I'm here talking about Portola Center. I've been to a couple other meetings. The main thing that I'm trying to talk about is the intersection that is being discussed to be placed directly above Saddleback Ranch and Glen Ranch Road. That's our busiest intersection at the base of the hill if you live on the hill, which basically 2,000 homes mostly funnel down to that intersection. And what is being discussed with the Baldwin Company is 450 feet up from our busiest intersection is putting another intersection that's warranted with lights for 2 gated communities for 300 homes. I think it's ridiculous. I think Glen Ranch has plenty of space for the 200 homes on for entrances there. I think you can look at other entrances for the western portion on Glen Ranch and not impact our busiest intersection. So that is the main reason I'm here and have come to several meetings. The other thing that I want to really thank is the Planning Commission, because when we started in this process, we were not being allowed to talk about our traffic problems that were developed by this developer up above. We were told that was outside the scope of the project. We have huge traffic problems from the Concourse Park to the base of the hill. I'm being really honest here. We have basically a freeway that divides our community. And we really appreciated that the Planning Commission for the first time has asked staff here at the city to actually look at a traffic solution possibly for what was created by the Baldwin brothers up on that hill. So my 2 major things here are related to traffic. I live there. I drive this every day. And I would just really like to make sure that you folks understand that we are very, very concerned about this. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
We've had no additional requests.
Is there anyone that did not get the opportunity to fill in the slip that would like to come up and address this issue? Any issue that's not on the agenda? Seeing none, bring it back to the council. Now we're at the warrant list.
Agenda item 6, certification of warrant register, submitted by the Director of Finance, City Treasurer.
Do we have any requests from the public?
We've had no requests.
Is there anyone in the public who would like to address the warrant registry, agenda item 6? Seeing none, bring it back to the council. What's issue? Okay, I'm not going to name them all off. Just don't filibuster too long for me. Councilwoman Rudolph has given me a list. Is there anyone else have something they're going to pull from the warrant list? Okay, you do?
Page 51, arena landscape.
Okay, 51. 51. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay, I have one. I want page 70. This one. I think I got my answers for all the rest. Page 70. Okay, I'm going to go start over here. Yeah. I have 3 that has been pulled. 3 people have pulled. I was writing down so I wouldn't miss him. Scott Voice is pulling Marina on page 51. And the mayor is pulling on page 70. The very first one, screening, the movie screening. The movie screening on page 70. Remember the mouth. I'm doing the best. Okay. Could I entertain a motion to move the rest of the agenda? Oh, yeah, I put all Marcia's down. Page 33, County of Orange. It's 2 items there, and page 45, John McGarrett, and page 53 and 54, National Recreation and Park Association. Did we miss any, Marcia? Okay, I read it off the slip. Move the balance.
Second that.
Been first and second. Is there any opposition? Motion carries. City Clerk?
The warrants, Councilmember Rudolph?
Yes, please.
Okay. First one is has to do, and it's the water quality spill response, and there's 2 items. The total for the 2 items is $8,185. I'm not quite sure what the water quality spill response would be. Please elucidate.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and council members. I believe that was an asphalt truck that went off the road going downhill on Lake Forest right above Tribuco. And it went off the side of the road, went down into the apartment complex, the diesel spill, all that sort of stuff. So we called the county out as our emergency spill response team to go ahead and go after that and clean that all up.
Thank you. That's eerily reminiscent of a similar situation with a runaway truck that happened maybe 20 years ago. I think at this point, we're lucky that we haven't had anybody injured in that particular area. Thank you very much. Move approval of that item.
You want to finish your list?
Sure.
And hold on, you do have a comment. Mayor Pro Tem Voice.
Will we be getting reimbursed on that cost from the trucking company that had that?
I believe that's our normal protocol, is to go after insurance companies and stuff of that nature. Absolutely.
It's the County of Orange. So.
45.
Next. Okay. The next one is $1,305 for photography, and it's a couple of the city's events. I don't have a problem with us getting pictures, but I'm not sure I ever see these pictures. So, I really would appreciate it, even if it's, if there's only one, and I'm sure that we have a professional photographer, there's going to be some that are really good. But it'd be nice if maybe we got some pictures and they could be mounted someplace or put on the internet or something like that, so that we could actually see these pictures that we're having taken and will have taken in future events. So that's my comment. Move approval. Oh, we're going to go on?
We're going to finish, but you need to
Sorry,
let me
I'm on
see if someone
automatic
else want to
pilot
make a
here.
comment. And I would like to make a comment. No. In all the years I've been here, I haven't seen any of these pictures. I really don't think they have any film in the camera, and I don't think they have any chips in the new ones, because I don't see them. We don't get a chance to see if there is one that we want that we can purchase, or they can give us one. So you don't even need to ask for that anymore, because I long since gave up that those pictures exist.
Well, a number of years ago, we used to kind of
I don't have any film in the camera.
laugh
believe
and
me.
say that there was no film in
No
the
film.
camera. It's just, you know,
And no chips.
let's take pictures, make sure we see them, or let us know what they are, or whatever. I just would appreciate that.
Not going to happen.
Okay, my final item is the Recreation and Parks Association, and the reason I pulled this out, it's $2,818. It is it's a convention for our park and recreation people, along with Mr. McGill, who is the director of Parks and Recreation. And I know there's a lot of people who, read about these things and they go, it's just a junket. They're going to go and, they're not going to really do anything that benefits the city. And when I first got on the council, there was one of the first such conventions I went to. We were told a story about the woodcutter who was in a competition with another woodcutter, and at the end of the day, one of the woodcutters was declared the winner, and he turned and he said, "But that's not fair, because the other guy here, he would take time out and he'd sit by the side of the road for a while, and then he'd get back to cutting, and we were supposed to cut basically through the whole day, and he shouldn't have won because I never took a break." And of course the result was that the gentleman who won, who took the breaks, said that he took his breaks to sharpen his axe. The bottom line is, it's important that, and I'm really pleased to see all of our commissioners going this time, it's important for our commissioners and those of us on the council occasionally to go to these conventions that are not, they are hard work, I'll tell you. They get you up at 7 o'clock in the morning, and you may be lucky to get to bed by midnight. The bottom line is, it's our way of sharpening our axes, and I'm very pleased to see that all of the Park and Rec commissioners are going to this particular conference, because from what I understand, it is really excellent, and they can do a lot of things and learn a lot. And one further comment about the first one that I went to, one of the things that I brought back and pushed the staff to do was to put the recycled tires that they put into the macadam mix for the roadways. I thought this would be a good deal, and we've been doing it ever since. It's cheaper, it's economical, it's environmentally friendly, and it cuts down the noise from the roadways. So I wanted to bring this up because I saw this on the agenda, and we could not be spending our city's money better than to have our commissioners go to this conference. So move approval.
I need a second.
Second.
It's been moved and approved. Any opposition? Motion carries. 51, Scott Boyd.
Mine's on page 51. Marina landscape. It says install trees, but the bill is $46,498. I just was clarifying how many trees we got planted in, if that was the whole forest.
I don't believe that was the whole forest, but thank you. Just in answer to your question, the total for the trees itself was just $320, and that was a total for all of Marina, which does our annual landscaping, or our monthly landscaping fees. So if you look over at the previous page, all those subtotals, which include our monthly fees, add up to that amount.
Okay.
Thanks.
I move approval.
Second.
Any opposition? Motion carries. I just need some information on my motion that's on page 70. First item, it says movie screening license fees. Is that for to show the movies that we show in the park? Do we have to have a licensing fee?
Mayor and council members, that's when we have our movies in the park. That's the licensing fee to show it in public.
Yeah. Thank you. I just didn't get a chance to call you.
That's all right.
Normally I would. Thank you. Move the motion.
Second.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Agenda item 7. Go down to 8.
Consent calendar miscellaneous items number 7 through 11.
Do we have any item pull?
We've had no requests.
Is there anybody from the public that would like to pull any of the items 7 through 11? Otherwise, we will approve them in one sweep. Seeing none, back to the council. Any approval? It's been moved and approved. Any opposition? Motion carries. There's no public hearing. Agenda item 12.
Agenda item 12, public hearing, annual review of opportunity study area development agreements, submitted by city manager.
Briefly.
Madam Members of the Council, I'd like to have Carlo Tomaino provide you with a short introductory report on this item to start the public hearing.
Thank you, Mr. City Manager. Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council.
Good evening.
As you are aware, the Opportunity Study is a comprehensive process that rezoned approximately 838 acres of land zoned for business and industrial use on 5 properties in Lake Forest. The zoning changes allowed for a new plan with residential uses and facilities such as a sports park, neighborhood parks, and a recreation center and other amenities. As part of its efforts to develop these areas and deliver valuable public amenities to the community, the city previously executed 5 development agreements with its Opportunity Study Area Development Partners. As part of its OSA efforts, the city is required to annually review the development agreements. Beginning with the execution of the first development agreement in 2008, the city began reviewing the agreements to ensure compliance with the terms and conditions. Since that time, the city has conducted review each year and found the developments to be in full compliance. This year was no different. The staff, with assistance from legal counsel, reviewed carefully each provision of the development agreements and found all development partners to be in full compliance with the terms of the agreements. Also, as required by the DAs, an inflation escalator was applied to fees due to the city. The fee escalator, based on the Engineering News Record Cost Index for the Los Angeles area, was calculated to be 1.7% effective July 1st, 2012. The past 12 months were very productive and successful for the city and its development partners. Major milestones during the past 12 months include the creation of a financing district for the Irvine Ranch Water District property, submittal of the first tentative track map for the Portola Center project, approval of an area plan for the Shea Baker Ranch project, approval of development documents for the Pinnacle at Serrano Highlands project, and construction of the Alton Parkway storm drain serving the Alton Parkway project. This concludes my presentation. I would be happy to answer any questions from the City Council. Thank you.
Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak from the public?
Yes, Your Honor. We've had a request from Elizabeth Wallace.
Good evening, council members. My name's Elizabeth Wallace, and I'm a resident of Portola Hills, also president of the Portola Hills 2 Homeowners Association.
Good evening.
Hello. I'm speaking just as a community member, and I would like to address 2 topics this evening. First, just regarding Portola Center. City planners assured us that Portola Center would be similar in character and density to the existing neighborhood of Portola Hills. And with these assurances, the city signed a development agreement with the Baldwin Company guaranteeing them 930 units and a commercial center. Now that the project has become a reality, we learn that the developer must build retaining walls up to 30 feet high, which they admit they need to squeeze the promised number of units onto the site. The fact that these retaining walls are required to support the densities promised to Baldwin illustrates that Portola Center is not similar in character to Portola Hills. Portola Center's building mass conflicts with the character of Portola Hills, and it degrades the visual aesthetics of the city. Regarding the commercial space approved for Portola Center, even after the 930 units are added to Portola Hills, the traffic generated will not be high enough to support a commercial center. Similar to the stalled auto center off Portola Parkway, I suspect that after this land lies vacant, Baldwin will come to you and ask for a rezoning to build more homes there. One option you might consider is to delete the commercial center entirely, leaving more space for homes on the south side of the property. And if I may, I'd like to address briefly the Planning Commission appointment process. Lake Forest, if I understand this correctly, planning commissioners are allowed to serve indefinitely until they choose to leave their post. These indefinite terms shut out Lake Forest residents who may be qualified to serve their community in the planning process. I urge you to re-examine your policy and establish term limits that will allow qualified members of the public to be considered for appointment by City Council to serve as Lake Forest Planning Commissioners. Thank you.
We've had no further requests.
Is there anyone that did not have the opportunity to put in a request that would like to address the City Council? Make sure you fill out a request later and give it to who's on the end. Raise your hand and give the request form to him. When you finish, same rules apply. When you come up to the mics, the light will come on when you state your name and the city. Do not give us your address. The green light will be on first, then the yellow light will come on. You have 1 minute. When the red one come on, would you please conclude? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chris Bodison. I'm a resident of Portola Hills, Trabuco Canyon. I live in Portola Hills 1. I didn't come and prepare something tonight. I took basically a theme from what we saw tonight, and that's about citizenship, about being a good citizen, about the people who participate in this community. One thing that I would say is there are many of the developers that we have in this city that I would consider good citizens. They've done proper work. They've continued to participate in our community. And what we see in the development that Baldwin is proposing is Baldwin originally built Portola Hills. They walked away from Portola Hills after bankrupting themselves, taking all of their money, continuing to keep every one of their amenities, their wonderful yachts, their wonderful things that they have, walked away from us and said, good luck. That, my friends, is not a good citizen. We do not appreciate the way that they did things. If they were to come to us as a friend and say, you know, we did wrong, we did not do the right things, we left you with non-code conforming houses, with very bad drainage problems, with roads that are not up to standard, that the city has had to pay for, that we would welcome that citizen being a good neighbor, someone who, by, I guess, my Italian grandmother's standard, would say, I would like this person here, that they would do the responsible thing. We don't feel that they're doing the responsible thing. We don't feel that they're doing the right thing. And we appreciate so much the ability to address you and of the Planning Commission's reassessment of the situation. So thank you.
I'm going to bring it back to council. Is there any comments? No comments? Moving right along. Agenda item we need a motion. I will entertain a motion on agenda item 12.
Staff recommendation.
Need a second. It's been moved and second. Any opposition? Motion carries. Agenda item 13.
Agenda item 13, legislative and regulatory matters, submitted by city manager.
Madam Members of the Council, the legislature had been on recess. I think they're back in session now. However, the staff provided you a short report. There's really nothing to identify at this juncture that is proceeding through the legislature. We did give you an attachment that is a status update on the bills for which you had interest. We'd be glad to answer any questions that you might have.
Anyone? Motion? We don't. Yes, Councilmember Herzog, motion to receive and file. Do you want yours to be a second? Okay. Okay. Agenda item 14.
Agenda item 14, request for appointment, League of California Cities, Association of California Cities, Orange County, and/or the Orange County City Selection Committee, submitted by City Clerk.
Nothing. There is none. Moving right along. City Manager.
I have nothing further this evening, Madam Mayor.
Councilmember Herzog.
I don't have anything specific to add, just that it was great to see everybody from the 4th of July parade. It's always a great event each year, and again, it was great to see everybody. That's it.
Councilmember Rudolph.
Well, it's been 3 weeks since we've had a meeting, so I have a list. The California Joint Powers Insurance Authority, of which I am the city's representative, had their annual meeting. Basically, dinner was delicious. The evening was beautiful. The surroundings are nice. The incumbents were elected to serve another term on the Board of Directors of the California Joint Powers Insurance Authority. We got a very encouraging report on the status of the authority, and it was a lovely evening. We had a vector control meeting since we had our last council meeting, and vector control now has an offer on the table to the employees that are represented by their union, and we'll see what happens with that. Meeting next week, so I should have some information at the next meeting here. I have always kind of wanted to take one of the excursions that's been offered to the seniors. I am a senior. And I saw on the list a tour of the Museum of Tolerance in West Los Angeles. I went, and it was excellent. The bus was very comfortable and the driver was good. We got to West LA, and part of what we paid for was lunch at Factor's Delicatessen. If you like deli food, I would suggest very strongly that you give it a try the next time you're up in that area. It's right down from 20th Century Fox. It's one of those tours that you take, and I actually had a couple people say, well, you know that it's kind of heavy. Yes, I know. I am aware of the Holocaust. I have a couple friends who have relatives who have numbers on their arms, who've lost relatives. So I knew what I was getting into, but I wanted to see what was there and what the presentation was like. I would suggest very strongly if you haven't had a chance to, that you take the time. The tour for all 3 floors of the museum is probably 5 hours. You can walk it. It's very inspiring and very troubling. I think if I had to say what one message I would take away from it is to be extremely careful who you vote for, because as we all know, Adolf Hitler was elected the first time he stuck his nose out. What would have happened if he hadn't been, I don't know. He probably would have figured a way to get there anyway. But the bottom line is we need to be very careful when we vote, who we vote for, and the parameters upon which we make those decisions. And it's very clear when you go to something like that and you see the consequences of what happens when you get the wrong person in office. Then I've also went to the ribbon cutting of SMPL Solutions, Simple Solutions, another group that has joined doing business in Lake Forest. Went to the concert in the park, which was excellent. Had my ethics training for AB 1234, mandated by the state. You have to do that every 2 years. The El Toro Water District had its Community Advisory Council meeting. I went to that. And at the next meeting, I'll give you some of the things that are happening at the El Toro Water District that are kind of adventuresome and interesting. I went to Waco, which is the water agencies in Orange County and Metropolitan. We had kind of a quick course in pensions and pension funding. Not necessarily new, but you go, oh yeah, I know that, and oh yeah, that connects with that, and it was an interesting presentation. And this last Sunday they had blues and barbecue at the nature park, and that is always fun, always enjoyable. And we had a couple couples that came down from Silverado Canyon, and they are quite surprised that we sell hamburgers for $2 and hot dogs for $1. Anyway, that's my story, and thank you very much. And God bless our people who do so much work, volunteer work for our city.
Councilman, Mayor Pro Tem Voice.
I just would like to say how proud I am to serve on the council here in Lake Forest, and how proud I am of the city of Lake Forest. And the kind of turnout we had tonight just shows that hometown USA is really Lake Forest here in South Orange County. So besides the concert in the park that we had this last weekend, which was outstanding, just the kind of people that we have living in our city, it's just a great pleasure and an honor and a blessing to live in this great city. So that's all.
Mayor's comments. This was a slow time, which I'm grateful for. A lot of things went dark, thank God. And I went to the SOCM, that's the meeting with the mayors and councils. We had that always, mayor and manager, that always gives us information, and all the mayors for South County gets a chance to get together and share information. And there are some things that we're looking into, and hopefully start a little coalition of working on things unified, especially along the corridor, so we won't have neon lights everywhere. And poster boards. We're not Los Angeles, we're Orange County, and we're the South End. I attended the ACCOC, as well as Peter and Scott. They both were there, and it was at the Disneyland Hotel, and out on the lawn. It was nice thing. I attended the 2020. That's where Orange County, I'm on the 2020 Commission, where Orange County is trying to stop homelessness by the year of 2020, hopefully. We are the most efficient county as far as affordable housing, so that means there has to be a lot of building, and get some buildings and put people in somewhere to get them off the street. I don't think it's going to be this winter, though. As Councilmember Rudolph stated, we all had to go through our ethics training. That's a must, and we learn all the do's and don'ts, and hopefully we all practice them all. I also attended a meeting at Songs. I think I told you before, that's the nuclear plant down there where I went up to the region and asked for some information and asked for some clarity on things, which it vibrated all the way up to the federal government. So they've been kind of all over me like a blanket. But the good thing about it is they're shut down until there's a federal inspection, and they have to jump through all the hoops in order to get it turned back on to make sure that we're safe. There were some pipes that were frail. There were some things that were not in order. They had shut it down, and there was rumors that they were going to shut it back on. So it is down until they can pass the federal inspection, which is the independent inspection that we were trying to get to begin with. The thing is, they spoke at the SOCM. They will be keeping our city manager and councils informed, as well as our engineers. We will be informed step by step. From what I gathered at the last meeting I went to there at the nuclear plant, this is the first generator of its type that has ever happened. So we do have people from all over not just here, but all over the world, that is specialists that are looking into it, because they can't figure out why this one pipe that's less than a year, that is built to last 20 to 40 years, that it is frailed and this happened to it. So like I told them, I'm still waiting for my thank you note from Edison for asking for them to check further that it had such a rippling effect, which I don't know if I'll get it, but I did get a thank you from former supervisor and Peace Corps Getty Vasquez Friday morning, and one of the Roscoe also gave me a thank you at the meeting. I also attended the park, which the concert was at my favorite park, the nature park. I love that park. I just love it. It's my favorite of all the parks right now. We may build something better, but that's my favorite. And I do want to bring out a couple other things. I'm quite sure that we all have heard about the shooting, and I'd like to keep in mind that could help any place, and hopefully you'll have them in your concerns, whether you pray or whatever you do, to comfort yourself, that you will remember the families, and also the perpetrator, the person that does it, their family need a lot. One of the things I didn't like is on the media, they showed the family's address. Maybe we don't know the street, but they showed the address of the family, and they have been harassed severely. You know, no one, when that baby's in the womb, you don't say, I want my baby to grow up and be a murderer or do something horrible. So that family needs prayers of whatever form of comfort you use for the God of your choice. One of the things that I want to say concerning the people that were here tonight and the people that participate in everything this city does, this city is unique and above mostly all the cities that I've ever lived in, and I've lived here since I'm not going to tell you to tell how old I am, but many years. And I've noticed that I originally was an El Torian. My husband still lives in El Toro. He doesn't know he lives in Lake Forest, but I was an El Torian. And one of the biggest fears of some of the people that did not vote for our cityhood, they did not want to lose the hometown. And for some of them, I asked them to please come to the parade, and for those that did come, they could see we still have the hometown, we still have the volunteers, and we still are all that we ever was, plus more. So I want to thank all the people for whatever level you've ever volunteered on, because without the volunteers, without our staff, and without the citizens coming out to watch the parade, it would not have been as successful as it was. So thank you, one and all. With nothing else, I will adjourn the meeting.